Hi everybody and welcome to the Open eCrime midweek market commentary for the 7th of August. My name's Simon Clark from Trade with Precision and I'll be discussing the markets that are of key interest right now. Now the first market I'm going to talk about today here is dollar yen. Now dollar yen for many months now has actually been in a very nice uptrend, but we're now starting to see the signs of a pullback. Now if I just talk through the time frames and I'll show you what I'm looking at here. So first of all, on the monthly chart, we can see the evidence of this nice uptrend for some time now. This is going sort of back to 2012 or the end of 2012. We started this lovely uptrend here. Nice big push up to the high side. Now you can start to see that we've actually breached a couple of levels here in price. So price came up, hit the sort of parity level here, the 100 level. You know, we've now rejected that, came back down, tested this 94,000 level, which has been prior support and resistance through multiple time frames and also visible here on the monthly chart. Bounced back up again, hit the parity level, and now sort of starting to roll back over. Now certainly here on the monthly chart we're still seeing, we're still in a technical uptrend, but at this moment in time price is sort of failing. It's made a low, it's failing to make a new high, and it's actually sort of rolling back over again. So it looks like we're actually due for a bit of a pullback here on dollar yen. So if we come down the time frames, let's take a look at what we can see here. So I've got our parity level, our 94,000 level here marked in. We can see this price action in a bit more detail. On these slightly lower time frames here on the weekly chart and below, we can see that we've now put in a decisive lower high here. Indicators all rolling over as well, so we've got nice convergence here in the direction of the current move to the short side. Now when we come down to lower time frames like the daily chart here, and I'll go even lower than that in a few moments, you can start to see that we've actually started to make a confirmed downtrend. So now we've got a lower high, a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we're in a confirmed downtrend in this market on these lower time frames. And then the question is really then is, where is it likely to pull back to? Where is it likely to move to? Well, we've certainly got some nice convergence here on the MACD and the RSI, indicating agreement in the momentum of this market, or the direction of the momentum. And next obvious level here is this 94,000, and you can see this 94,000 is the sort of next strongest level of support and resistance that we've got here in price. It's been a support and resistance level on the way up. It's been retested back here as well, and it's likely to be another sort of target point for price here on these time frames. So at this moment in time we've got the moving averages almost in the right order here on the daily, and it's certainly looking like next sort of level of price where it's likely to pull back to may well be the 94 level. Now what I'm doing is I'm coming down to these sort of lower time frames, the sort of mid time frames, and when you come down to the mid time frames like the 240-minute chart, you can start to see that we've got a lot more factors in our favor. So we've got all the nice convergence here on the MACD and the RSI, lovely downtrend here in price, moving averages all in the right order. We've just breached the sort of 98 level here. You can start to see on these mid time frames that there are other levels of support and resistance that price has respected for a period of time, and price is just rolling over. We've got a nice strong move to the downside. So what I'm looking for is potential trend flow opportunities for as long as this trend continues to the short side on these mid time frames, the 240, the 480 time frames, looking for trend flow trading opportunities in the direction of that 94,000 level. Now the next market I'm going to take a look at here is the Euro AUD. Now this market's also turned around, it's in a nice uptrend now. So let's just take a look at the time frames and I'll show you where I think, or where the charts are telling us this may likely lead to. So if we take a look at the monthly chart first of all, we've had a nice big downtrend for a number of years. This downtrend has now sort of turned around. We've now made a higher high, higher low, and now a high high again. We've just sort of broken through all of this sort of consolidation through here, at the low part of this last move to the downside. starting to move back up again. Very strong bullish price action, lovely convergence here on the indicators, and we'd start to take a look here to see where price may well run back up to, or where it's likely to test. And the next level that we can see here on this time frame is this sort of 155 level, 155 level through here. It's been prior support and resistance a number of times on the monthly chart. Certainly looks like there's nothing in the way for price to come back up and retest this sort of area. So if we come down the time frames, taking a look here at the weekly chart, we can see a bit more detail. We can see that price has been in a nice solid move here once we've had sort of confirmation of the change of trend round here, around this sort of 1.3 level, 1.24 level. We've broken through these levels, headed straight up to this 144.50 level that's been prior support and resistance. We sat there for a few days and now we've decisively broken through that. So pretty much nothing back up until we get to this 155 level that we were looking at there on the higher time frame. Certainly a nice run up to that level. Lovely convergence on the indicators, and taking a look here on the the moving averages, perfect fanning action, looking very, very nice. So if we come down to the daily chart here, we can see the price action in more detail, all the moving averages in the right order. I've got this 145 level marked in here that's been prior support and resistance that we've just been speaking about. Price sort of found a bit of resistance there, gave a bit of time for price to pull back, for the indicators to pull back, but certainly now we've sort of starting to get sort of convergence on the recent highs in price, not the sort of from the most extreme highs back here, but certainly on the recent highs, since we've had this pullback, we're starting to get convergence here again. So a little bit overextended from the moving averages. I wouldn't be at all surprised if we get a bit of a pullback and then a push on back up to the high side. Now when we come down to these lower time frames like the 480 and the 240, we can start to see a bit more detail here. So in actual fact, price has actually pulled back into the buy zone at the moment. So it's right there, and we've almost actually got a trend flow sort of setting up here right at the moment here on the 480 chart. So again, with this type of market, looking at this lovely smooth flowing trend, just looking for trend flow opportunities on these mid to lower time frames in the direction of this sort of monthly target up here of around the 155 level. Now the last market I'm going to look at today here is silver. This is the mini futures contract, the YI contract. Now I've spoken about silver for a number of weeks now. It's certainly looking very nice. It's rolling back over now, looking like we're now rejecting this sort of $20 level, which is what I've been talking about for some time. So if we just take a quick look at what's happening here on the monthly chart, we're in a nice decisive downtrend. We've broken this sort of 26 level here, broken that decisively, and we sort of continue to move to the downside. Lovely convergence here on the indicators, moving averages almost in the right order. Coming down to the weekly chart, in fact if I zoom this up a little bit, you can see here on the weekly chart that so you can see these levels a bit more precisely that we've actually sort of broken. So broken this support level here, come down to this $20 level, which has been again another key support and resistance level for a number of times. At this moment we were actually quite overextended from the averages, so price has now just traded sideways into the sell zone, and now we're starting to get rejection of this $20 level. Nice convergence here on the indicators, and looking for certainly a retest down to these old lows. That's what I'm looking for looking at the current sort of price action at the moment. So if we take a look here at the daily chart, now the daily chart, whilst the monthly has been consolidating sideways, the daily has almost been in a constructed sort of uptrend here. We've been making higher highs and higher lows, and we certainly had a bit of bullish price action here as well, whilst price has been pulling back. But at the moment, now price has now rejected this $20 level. We can see that it's been strong resistance. Price did break through it, became a bit of support, but now it's broken underneath it again. So this $20 level is now acting as strong resistance again. Certainly rolling back over, and also the indicators starting to roll back over, looking at like momentum is back down to the short side. So looking for possibly a retest down here to around the sort of $18 level. And we can start to see, this in a bit more detail when we come down to these mid-time frames. Coming down here to the 480, we can see the rejection of this $20 level quite clearly. We've now got the moving averages just in the right order here, convergence here on the indicators. So I'm just looking for trend flow opportunities on these mid-time frames, looking to trade it down to at least this sort of $18 level, or down to these old lows down here, which is just above the $18 level, which looks like a reasonable sort of first test for this market. So that concludes the midweek market outlook and potential trading opportunities to look out for. I'd like to thank you for watching the Open ECry midweek market commentary, and we look forward to speaking to you next week. Bye for now.